Com check. Do you read me, Commander?
Loud and clear.
Good. We'll start our push. We'll try to make it to the AA guns, but it might be up to you to finish the job. And Commander, if you see any way to undermine their defenses, we... Shadow is on the ground. Repeat, Shadow is on the ground. Chief Williams, with Igor team. Manovai, Teato teams, move. Time to get some attention.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Mass Effect. In the last episode, we devised a plan with the Salarian infiltration team to take over, well, not take over, but actually full-on destroy Saren's base of operations. And this episode, we are carrying out exactly that plan, and it's gonna be awesome. So, like you said, kind of like they're going in through the front. So they're going through the front door while we're sneaking in the back, but that doesn't mean that they need to take all of the fire. Essentially, if we look at the map, you'll see there's 3 key points on it. There's the communications tower there, the satellite uplink tower, and the refueling platform. The research facility there is our ultimate goal, but there are basically a number of points where we can really help make life a lot easier for Ashley and Kirahi and their team by kind of fucking some of the Geth shit up. Like, for example, the triangulation tower. Boom, bitches! And in response to that, usually something happens, but they're not saying anything. So yeah, you will be now... Oh, I thought this was the way through, it's not. You'll be now starting to see why Virmire is my favourite of the plot worlds, because it's just so much happens here. There's a lot more kind of actual plot going on than on any of the other kind of plot worlds, because this really kind of like brings it forward a phase. And why can I not get through there? Or unless it's the end of the map. Oh, bloody hell. I think he got sabotaged by Caden or something like that, because shit, he took a lot. But yeah, like, Virmire is just, I just love how much things really kind of like accelerate.
They're targeting. We got a shot. Chief Williams, take the heat off Manovai.
Hey, that was us, that did that. But yeah, here is where the kind of plot really accelerates. And while we've had it for a while, it makes the most sense to do Virmire now, because Virmire feels the most kind of endgamey of like shit seriously getting real of the 4 plot worlds, so doing it last just feels totally natural of the kind of 4 main plot worlds we were given at the beginning of the game. We're basically, for most of this level, you will be like, though you will come across odd organics like Krogans and stuff, your main
Sat strikes. Deato, watch for comm stations. Williams, can you see anything?
Yeah, your main adversaries will be synthetic in the form of, like, Geth, so if you want to bring, like, anti-synthetic rounds, that is a good idea. I don't actually have any on me at the moment, because, well, I have my own kind of 2 things, and then Rex is on shotguns with the same loadout I have on my sniper rifle, so they're kind of, like, boom combo, and I can't remember even what Caden has. I think he has a combat scanner and some other shit, nothing particularly important, but I focus on my own stuff more than my squad mates. Oh, that's a Krogan right in my face, oh god! Caden, could you throw him, please? Thank you, Caden! Oh, god, I love this game sometimes. One of the things I find most surprising, though, and like it's been brought home to me to kind of doing this mission, is how... Well, hold on a sec. Firstly, here's the satellite uplink. Not anymore! Haha. We have actually destroyed it. It doesn't give you a notification message. I'll explain that later. But yeah, like, this does really kind of...
We're getting pounded. Bunker up before the aircraft return.
Basically, yeah, what I was going to say is that one of the things that always stuns me, well, not stuns me, but surprises me with the first Mass Effect, this one, is how different the side missions feel to kind of the main quest. That when you're doing all this, just the random, like, side missions on Uncharted Worlds, and then you come back to do, like, all this stuff with, like, Matriarch Benezia and Saren and the Reapers and all that kind of stuff, it feels like a completely almost different game. And this brings me on to a point I've always had of just, like, RPGs, one of the issues I always have with them is side quests. While side quests are fun, and I guess they add kind of time to a thing, they're often filler content, but even if they're not, plot-wise, if you've written a good story, like this has... Okay, Rex is saying something about refueling there, but basically, these are the drones that were attacking Williams and her team, and we've destroyed them, hooray, with a massive explosion. God, Mass Effect this week brought to you by Michael Bay. But yeah, like, my issue is, if an RPG doesn't have a particularly well-written plot, I don't want to play it. But if it does have a really well-written plot, there is no good time to do side quests. Like, a Hey! So, now we get the message saying satellite uplink disrupted from destroying that thing after you take out the flyers as well. It's slightly glitched, but yeah, we did get that for blowing up the thing.
Air threat has not materialized. Help, Shadow.
If you've written a good plot that's kind of compelling and really draws the player in for the entire game, then there is no... Such a plot will rarely have a kind of natural time to do side quests that won't feel like you've really just broken the action to be like, never mind the imminent ending of the world, I'm gonna help this woman find her chickens. Like, there is no, unfortunately, oh, dude, right in the mouth. There is no good time to do it, and it's the issue I have with this game, that we had to do a massive season, like...
Shadow team must be getting close. Hold the line, man. Hold the line.
It's been like 10, 11 episodes since Novaria, because I just wanted to get all the side quests done before this, because... After the stuff on Virmire, man, you wouldn't want any disruptions to anything. But anyway, we're now starting to enter the facility proper. And coming up here is, we're given a kind of choice. There's this console you can see that says Access Base Security. And this gives us a bit of an option.
We've got access to base security. Should be able to cut the alarms from here. Might even be able to trigger alarms on the far side of the base. It'll clear the guards out for us, but they might be too much for Williams and the Salarians to handle.
So your choice here is... either just deactivate the alarms or deactivate ones on the far side of the base to draw the Geth away from us. That puts extra fire on Williams and Kirrahe, and basically, if you haven't done all three of the things we just did, disrupt the communications, disrupt the satellite uplink, and destroy the flyers, if you haven't done any of those, all three of those, and you then send them, basically essentially send additional Geth their way, that has some pretty serious consequences later on, and it's kind of, that the amount of fire on their team is significant, so... We could technically give it to them, but I think they've got enough trouble. We're not really having much of a difficulty combat-wise here,
Just
so...
disable the alarms. We can handle any guards inside.
And now we can enter kind of the facility proper. As I say, this is really one of my favourite parts of the entire... Well, like, the entire rest of the game from here is, and it's like, I am annoyed that I kind of, like, lost momentum slightly with the side quests. Like, obviously there was... Oh, dude, there was nothing I could really do about it, because just... The nature of side quests is they kind of had to be done to get 100%, but they did feel unnatural. But hey, that's the way it kind of goes.
This has to be more of that indoctrination What is this place?
But yeah, like, well, the kind of significant point, at least last episode, is this is now, at least by episode, my longest LP ever. Because Wind Waker was 44 episodes, and we are now on 46, this is. So that's pretty cool, and this has been, in terms of like gameplay and time and effort I put in, this was way more effort than Wind Waker anyway. But it's great. I sometimes lost heart in this thing when I was just doing the kind of side quest stuff, I'll admit, but...
Hello? Is someone out there?
So these are clearly members of Kirrahe's team that have been kidnapped, so we're going to try and for now get down to them. But yeah, I did sometimes get disheartened when I was doing a lot of editing on...
Give a little ground, Williams. You don't want them to bunker up. Draw them out.
These are labelled as indoctrinated, these Salarians, and just attack you immediately on sight, so clearly Saren's kind of got through to them. Yeah, I did lose kind of heart a little bit when I was doing like endless streams of side quests, and I was like, oh, I don't feel like this LP is going anywhere. But now we're back on plot, I'm back in a good mood again with it. And it's my, as you know, well, all my series are kind of my babies, but this one particularly I put a lot of love into, and hopefully that pays off. Anyway, if we investigate this cell...
Oh, you're not a Geth. And you're not wearing a lab coat. I guess I'm glad to see you. Lieutenant Gonto Imnes of the 3rd Infiltration Regiment, captured during recon. I assume the fleet was called in to destroy the base?
Transmission wasn't clear. The fleet's not coming.
I see. Then you must be the infiltration team. I know the captain. He will want this facility destroyed. My team was altered, indoctrinated. He knew about the breeding grounds. But the indoctrination is a greater threat, and far more horrifying. I watched good people reduced to mindless husks. There wasn't anything left. Others died during the experiments. I envy them.
Do you know anything about the experiments they were conducting?
They were studying indoctrination. Symptoms, progress. Saren uses it to control his people, but I don't think he fully understands it. I don't know much else. I just saw what it did to the others. Turned them into empty husks. I can't end up like that, please. Let me out.
I'm opening your cell, but then you're on your own.
Don't look back and hope to outrun the blast, hmm? A better chance than I had before you showed up. Thank you, human. And good luck. You'll need it.
So one of the recurring themes you'll notice throughout Virmire is we get a lot of background on this kind of indoctrination. We've come across it before. Benezi has talked about it, and I think Shiala, the Asari who was essentially traded to the Thorian, mentioned it as well. The kind of, the more you're around Saren, the more he kind of seems right, and the more his influence just kind of pervades your thoughts. But we really get some proper background on it this episode, hence the kind of what I imagine will be the episode title, if my plan works out correctly. But anyway, he kind of mentioned over here to this kind of cell full of Solarians.
No threat here, Commander. Are they even aware of us?
No, this is no way to treat a prisoner. Kill them, sure, but to leave them like this.
Better to die than to live like this.
Just mow them down, Commander?
I'm all for it. Every second like that must be torture. I know I'd sooner be dead.
So weirdly enough, that does give us some renegade points, but I feel like in terms of morality and what was the best thing to do, it's probably that rather than just leave them to be, the kind of mindless husks. It must be noted though, these are quite different from the kind of husks we've been seeing, the ones created by the dragon's teeth that kind of rush you and explode. They're really a kind of different thing. These kind of ones instead created by indoctrination are more just kind of like mindless slaves, and it's a lot more kind of, in a sense, I think, sinister. Anyway, if we come through here and up these stairs, then longer stairs than I thought. Here we go. Another kind of set of cells, and once again at the end there is. That is not the person I thought it was going to be. Here we go.
What do you want? I told you everything. Who are you? Alliance, right? I knew someone would come. It tried to break me, but it couldn't. I shut it out.
Slow down. I need to know where you came from.
Private Mano Savat of the 3rd Infiltration Regiment STG, man. Captured while on reconnaissance 6 days ago. Glad to answer, man. Never any questions from these bastards. Just whispers and poking and cutting. I'd said anything to get out and get some payback. That's not too much to ask, is it? A little payback?
What did they do to you, soldier?
Experiments, but I don't know what for. The effect of incessant whispering on my shortening temper? Who knows? I just need out.
Something's not right here, Commander.
If we don't let him out, he's as good as dead. We have to do something.
Yes, leaving me here would be bad. Very bad. It's too small and the noise just won't go away. Whispering is loud, you know? I need to get out. Let me out.
Set him free. He could help us.
Yes, sir. You'll find I am very good at following orders. I should be. I hear them over and over. Why are they repeated when they are so simple? So damn simple!
So at that moment, he will turn aggressive on you, and the rest of the cells will be open, and the indoctrinated Solarians will all come out of them and attack you. So that one, not quite as clearly of Compos Mentis as the last guy we kind of saved, but either way, it's still probably the best situation for him. These elements, essentially, you can see that it's clearly something. This kind of whole indoctrination thing is clearly fucking with them. Now, here's an interesting thing. These were the husks I was just talking about earlier. And that one fell over almost instantly because, oh, well, that will have been Caden Neural shocked it and Rex who's left. That's brilliant. Oh, some bitch overload my weapons. Oh, that's what you get! Don't overload my weapons, bitch, or I'll overload my weapons into you! Right in the face. Random named character here, Dr. Droyas, but still, like everyone else in this place, he will die at one hit from my super. Well, he's clearly talking something about the awesomeness of curing the genophage, but I still reiterate the point that we made to Rex last episode of these, it's not saving the Krogan, it's... If you're saved, but the price of that is working for Saren, that is not worth it. Anyway, with kind of those people out the way, we can come through here and we face a couple of Geth. Like, this is what I'm saying as well. You face some synthetic resistance in the form of organic resistance, even in the form of indoctrinated Solarians and such. But your main threat here is really kind of synthetic. Anyway,
don't shoot, please. I just want to get out of here before it's too late.
I'm not gonna hurt you. Who are you?
Ranathanoptis, neurospecialist. But this job isn't worth dying over, or worse. You think the indoctrination only affects prisoners? Sooner or later, Saren will want to dissect my brain too.
I thought this was a breeding facility.
Not this level. We're studying Sovereign's effect on organic minds. At least that's what I assumed. Saren kept us in the dark as much as possible.
You helped him and you don't even know why?
I didn't have the option of negotiating. This position is a little more permanent than I had expected. But I can help you. This elevator behind me goes to Saren's private lab. I can get you in. See? Full access. All of Saren's private files. Are we good? Can I go?
What were you studying here?
It's that ship, Sovereign. It emits some kind of signal. Undetectable, but it's there. I've seen the effects. Saren uses it to influence his followers, to control them. It's called Indoctrination. Direct exposure to the signal turns you into a mindless slave, like the Salarian test subjects. But there's collateral damage, too.
What do you mean by collateral damage?
Sovereign's signal is too strong. Spend too much time near the ship and you feel it, like a tingle at the back of the skull. It's like a whisper you can't quite hear. You're compelled to do things, but you don't know why. You just obey. Eventually, you just stop thinking for yourself. It happens to everyone at the facility. My first test subject was the man I replaced. Now I just want to get out of here before it happens to me.
I'm gonna blow this place to hell and gone. If you want to make it out alive, you better start running.
What? You can't. But I'll never. Ah!
You enjoyed that.
It's quite interesting though, like, so she told us much more details on the kind of indoctrination, that it's the kind of source of it is Saren's ship, Sovereign, and there are references that even as far as episode 2 of this season, of this series even, when we were on Eden Prime, the kind of colonists there said that when Sovereign landed there, they felt a kind of force, like a kind of signal, like a high-pitched whine, but it was coming from inside your own head. Like, this signal coming from, like, Sovereign is clearly very strong and has been referenced that early in the game, which I think is pretty cool. Anyway, here is Saren's private lab, and...
like the one on Eden Prime.
Caden, you are brilliant for speaking exactly when I stop and want you to hop in. You're great. You're a commentator's best friend.
I get the feeling something bad is about to happen. You are not Saren.
What is that? Some kind of VI interface?
Rudimentary creatures of blood and flesh. You touch my mind, fumbling in ignorance, incapable of understanding.
I don't think this is a VI.
There is a realm of